And now it's time for the latest exciting episode of Doz's Television Workshop.
Hello and welcome back to Doz's Television Workshop, where today I've been to a car boot sale and I've bought wonderful things and I thought I'd show you. Right, so I was looking around the car boot sale. By the way, if you're outside of the UK, a car boot sale is sort of like a garage sale. Everybody turns up in a field with a car boot full of old tat they want to get rid of. And you go and sell it to people that come and have a look. And there we were. And me and my friend Richard occasionally pop in and have a look round. And today I saw this. This is a GPO704A, and it is a linesman telephone. Now, GPO in the UK stood for General Post Office. They sort of don't exist anymore. They were sort of split up to two separate bits. One became British Telecom, looking after our telecommunications infrastructure, and of course Royal Mail became sort of the post office side of things, dealing with the mail. This is a linesman telephone, so this would have been used by a telephone engineer, presumably testing or diagnosing circuits and faults back in the day. I'll just talk you through it. We've got a receiver, hello. This is very common in the sort of 60s and 70s, 50s even, in the UK, that kind of transmitter receiver handset. There is, however, an extra button on there, and that is a transmit disable button. So that stops the microphone from operating. We've got our usual pos disconnect dial there. Very common on UK telephones from the 50s through to the 90s, really. We've got two terminals there. I'll come back to those. A switch, which has a 3-position switch. CB, LB, and ring, which is momentary. Up in the lid, by the way, we've got a schematic, which I shall share with you on screen now. We have got a jack plug. That's where your internet connects. No, it's not. That is a multi-pole. I think they were 4 or 5 way. I can't remember. Maybe even 3. It's sort of like a 1/4 inch, but it's not. It's a post office jack. And that was to jack into line test points. Or we can just connect straight to the line with these 2 binding posts there. So that's the top of the instrument in question. And it's all very nicely made. 704A sort of dates from the sort of 60s on into the 70s. This one does not appear to have a date on it. No, it doesn't. So yeah, it could be 60s, could be early 70s. On the side here, we have a battery compartment, and it takes 3 D-size cells. So anyway, you're there at a boot sale and you've bought that, and you're thinking, well, why have one when you can have 2 for twice the price? It's missing the G, but PO704B, and you can see it's a much similar looking thing. It has an extra sort of webbing thing on the side here, which sort of supports the lid as you open it. Stops it flopping about, I suppose. And this one is identical. It's even in better condition than the other one. This one, by the way, is dated 5th of the 10th, 77. So the 5th of October, 1977. Linesman telephone 704B. PO code 410385. Who knows, there might be somebody that used this watching the channel. And again, exactly the same kind of thing. The schematic shows a transistorized line ringing circuit, and that's quite a simple design. It's quite a low frequency thing, but I thought it would be interesting to actually measure the ringing voltage, because I don't know what it is. I could Google it, but where's the fun in that? So what I've got I'm going to use this one, I think, the 704B. Let's pop a couple of batteries in. Oh, the strap, by the way, appears to have come... I think it's been cut off from that side. So I may just stitch that back together. I don't know. Anyway, let's pop some batteries in there. The battery compartment, they both appear to be very good. They've like gone dusty, but it's not corrosion. I think it's the material it's made of. So 3 D cells go in, and the cap is carefully marked positive. So I'm just going to pop those in there. 2, 3. There's like a brass strap there that you have to sort of get in the right place. I don't know if this is going to work, but we've got a schematic, so even if it doesn't, we can fix it. So let's just try and attach the battery compartment there. It's all got very nice rubber O-rings around the battery compartment there. And there is a little note on the inside that says, I might as well just show you what that is. So we've got a CB, which is circuit battery. So that's the battery inside the box, I believe. LB is line battery, and that will be a battery either attached here or powered back from the telephone exchange. Thou shalt only have one battery online at a time. So there's instructions on here that says 3 dry cells R2PF. To test cells, operate ring key and check that the ringing generator output can be heard in the receiver. So, for a start, I can hear my own voice coming back through that. Actually, I wonder if I just hold that up to the microphone, can you hear that? You might be able to. So that's a good sign that it's working. So if I push the ring, I can hear a buzzing tone in there. Let me just hold that up again to the microphone so you might be able to hear. Hang on. Yeah, hopefully you heard that. So yeah, that appears to be working. So let's just apply my oscilloscope to, and I'm going to put it on divide by 10. I am on divide by 10. I'm going to hook my scope up to the output and we'll try and measure the ringing voltage, because I don't know what it is. I did think at one stage in my life that it was about 80 volts at about 25 hertz, but I don't honestly know. I don't think it's that high. But there's one way to find out, and that's with a genuine piece of test equipment. All right, somewhat out of calibration, but I'm just going to get another croc clip there and just hook that in. There. So my scope probe is now across the line. You should be able to see the scope camera there. So, it's quite a big voltage, isn't it? So let me set the probe to times 10 for a start. So that's the 20 volts per division line. We need to be lower in frequency, I think. Okay. My ground leader's just popped off. Hang on. Ring. It's a very low frequency. There we go. So that is... let's zero that trace a little bit. So we've got 20, 40, 60 volts. There's 120 volts peak to peak there. It's quite a substantial voltage. And I wonder if we pick this up, if we turn the voltage back down, we should be able to hear my audio on there. We've got a little bit of DC offset. Let's, of course, we'll have line current flowing. Just change coupling to AC, and there you go. You can, in fact, see my voice. Absolutely fabulous. So we appear to have a working unit. How fabulous. So I guess the next thing to do is connect the two together and see if they actually do anything. I'm just going to disconnect the oscilloscope because I don't think we need to look at that anymore. So it does say you only need one line battery. So all I need, therefore, as this one's got a battery in it, let's just switch that off. This one we can put to CB. And then if I connect that to that, this phone should be able to ring that one, if they both work, of course. So here's my telephone line. I'm going to use some yellow crop clips to have a bit of a telephone line in there. And of course, these things are designed, this line can be miles and miles and miles long. So we shall have another yellow one just to keep it consistent, look. So here's our telephone line. That one's going to be awkward. It's a different kind of binding post. Hook that in like that. There we are. So if I now lift the receiver and click ring on here. Oh, it's only a buzzer. It's not a bell. But I should be able to talk into this handset here and have it come out of there. My microphone, by the way, is hidden in my glasses, just in case anybody didn't know. So that's why I'm holding this up strangely to my glasses. Where is it? It's there. So you should be able to hear me talking through these telephones. Hello, 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 hello. Well, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? So what is the practical upshot of this? Well, I've bought a couple of nice things at a boot sale. I've made a quick YouTube video on it. I've found out that the line voltage is something else on a telephone circuit. So, yeah, I suspect it probably does load down to about 80 volts by the time we've got a ringer on the other end. Well, that's a point. Well, I've got that in LB. Does that mean this one will ring? No. That one can't ring that one. Presumably that would have to be in... Oh no, that one needs to be in circuit. Yeah, that can't ring unless it has any batteries. Yeah. So if I put batteries in that one, they'd both be able to ring one another, I presume. But yeah, I think you must only connect one line battery to one thing at a time, because otherwise, I don't know, current's going to flow, isn't it, if the batteries are lower in one than the other. Yeah. It's a bit of fun, isn't it? What's the purpose of this? Well, like I said, I bought something from a boot sale I quite fancied, and I've made a video about it and shared it with you. And, yeah, it's a bit of fun, isn't it? And practical uses? I don't know. If the wife needed to get me from the kitchen in the man cave, I could just leave one of these in the kitchen. I'm sure she'd be delighted with that prospect. And, yeah, she could ring me in the man cave and I can say, yes, dear, I'm just coming for my tea. I am not going to be tinkering about with this kit for another 40 minutes, which usually happens. I'll tell you what, let's just take one apart and have a look at the workmanship involved, shall we? Because GPO stuff is usually beautiful. So let's take this one apart, as it's got a slightly more openable lid. We've got two screws here, and they're held in with captive washers, which is typical. We don't want you losing the parts. Nervously lifting it. Oh, look at that. We've got enough batteries from the wires from the battery to be suitable, and it is, of course, beautifully made. Look at that. Isn't that wonderful? I'm just going to sit that back on there. Oh, there's a rubber gasket around the top as well. Keep the wet out. This is our ringer. On a conventional phone that would have a bell on it. That one obviously hasn't. Look at the switch. Typical GPO style switch. Probably made by STC, I would think. Most of them were. That's the Standard Telephones company. They made a lot of stuff for the GPO. There's a reed relay in there, look. some transformers. That's our transistorized ringing circuit. And this is the dial that creates the pulses for the telephone network. You can see that blue lever there, that light blue lever, creating the pulses. So clever. And the maximum dialing rate is controlled by that rotating part down in there, little governor to control its maximum speed. Just a beautiful piece of engineering. Look at the hook switches where the handset pushes the hook down. All enclosed, so beautifully made. Anyway, that's about it for this video, I think. Just something I couldn't resist at a car boot sale, and it's wonderful to see they actually work. And now, of course, I've just got to talk the wife into having one in the kitchen. Anyway, thanks a lot for watching. Click like, subscribe, do all that rubbish, and I'll see you really soon here on Doz's Television Workshop. Cheers now. Bye.
With a gentle hand, he brings them back in line. Every twist and turn makes the magic shine. Cathodes and the crackle of the tubes amidst the dust. They play nostalgic tunes. Solder smoke and the faint aroma of time in each repair. An art that's so prime. Fix the picture, bring back color in the dark. Screens that buzz, it's magic on display. Old TVs revived in a brand new way. Circuit woes, but we're getting closer. Neon signs, they guide you to the door. Tubes and screens like you've never seen before. Pulses hum as sparks begin to fly. In this tiny shop, dreams are set too high. In Doz's shop, with a touch of love, your picture's clear and true. In Doz's hands, pixels flicker back to life and stand. Microchips and vintage heart in a world of screens playing their parts. Circuit boards with stories to untangle. Every wire a promise at an angle. He bends the light through the lens, creating onyx nights. Oscillators creating sonic waves, bringing back the charm of retro days. Capacitors and resistors. In Doz's touch, there's no misfire. Transistors dance to the rhythm of repair. Through the glow, feels like magic fills the air. Voltage pulses, the tune's melodic run. A symphony of sparks where the work is never done.